Yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Arie here, and today we're gonna be looking at something pretty awesome. Now Q4 is around the corner. Literally in a couple weeks we'll be entering the fourth quarter of 2020, which is mind-blowing to say the least. I don't know about you, but this year has been going by extremely quickly, like way quicker than any other year in my life, which is a good and bad thing. I mean, obviously with the virus and everything, I'm kind of glad that this is sort of going by quick, but it's also a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't feel prepared at all going into this fourth quarter of the year when it comes to my e-commerce business. So today what I wanted to do is do a little bit of a case study around this one dropshipping store that is extremely impressive to me. They've been around for pretty much as long as I've been making YouTube videos, and they still continue to kill it without getting rid of the dropshipping business model at all. This whole year I've been preaching so much about building an actual tangible brand, and some people have misunderstood that, thinking that I think dropshipping is not viable anymore or something. Obviously that's not true, but I do believe that it's important for everybody to have a brand building mentality. Even if you do build a dropshipping brand, still treat it like a real brand. And hopefully the case study store that I'm going to be showing you today will give you a really good idea and inspire you to actually start a brand out of your dropshipping store, which is my main goal with this channel. I want all of you guys to start amazing brands that provide value for the world. So go grab your coffee, some water, some tea. I don't know what you're up there drinking, but I got my coffee ready here, and I'm really excited to dive into this store with you. Now, as I told you, I'm not extremely prepared for this Q4 when it comes to my brand, but now that we're shipping everything from the US, I'm really excited to be able to ship things out to last minute when it comes to, the holiday season. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that my brand actually reached a brand new milestone. We reached a 2K day the other day, which was the highest day we've ever had on this brand. And that was only through Facebook ads, which is really amazing. And I'm really happy to be building up a solid Facebook ad system. But without further ado, let's actually take a look at this brand that I'm talking about. The brand that I'm doing a case study on today is called Warmly. Now, the brand name already is pretty awesome. I mean, Warmly, it's so clean and modern. I just absolutely love it. I think it's such a good name, especially for what they're doing. So what this brand actually does is they sell modern home decor. So as you can see right off the bat, this doesn't really look like a dropshipping store by any means. They've made it extremely congruent, and whoever's running this is either hiring a really good developer or brand designer, or they know a lot about brand design themselves, because this is extremely congruent. And even though this is all products that they're dropshipping, it's still pretty impressive how they're able to get really congruent product images, which is one of the biggest downsides to having a dropshipping store. It's hard to really get congruent images, and that's why a lot of people do one product stores. But if you're running like a niche store or a general store, this is going to be very difficult to do. But they've been able to do it either way. I don't know how, but maybe they just take their own pictures. That's what we do, at least with our brand. So I've actually talked about this brand before because I found them like a long time ago, and I was like, wow, I can't believe this brand is actually dropshipping, and they're still at it. If we take a look at their traffic, we can see that they're getting over 200,000 monthly visitors. Now, the thing about SimilarWeb is that a lot of times, which by the way, SimilarWeb is the tool that I use. It's a Chrome extension, and that's what allows me to see traffic that different stores are getting. It doesn't always work, but when it does work, it's relatively accurate. I do find that most of the time it actually underplays how much traffic a store is getting, meaning that chances are the store actually is getting more traffic than they are reporting, which would mean that they're also generating more revenue than I'm estimating right now. But due to their average order value, I think it's a conservative assumption to say that they're doing at least $1 million per month. And the reason why I titled this the most impressive dropshipping store, and the reason why I think it's the most impressive dropshipping store, is because they're not even using Facebook ads to do this. If we actually look on SimilarWeb, because SimilarWeb is actually like a website, it's not just the Chrome extension, we can see the traffic distribution, meaning where they're actually getting their traffic from, and we can see that 99.64% of their traffic is coming from Pinterest. So if we go on Warmly's Pinterest profile, we can actually see that they're getting over 10 million monthly viewers. Now, I'm almost certain that this is not all organic. I'm sure most of it is actually paid, but that's still a pretty ridiculous amount of traffic. And I know that the reason why Pinterest is so cool is because with Pinterest, any link that you link to your store from a pin, it's actually considered a backlink. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know much about backlinks. I don't even know much about backlinks, but I do know that backlinks are essential to getting a really good SEO score on your website and your different landing pages, which allows you to get a lot more organic traffic. So chances are Warmly is actually not spending that much money on advertising, and they're actually cashing in a lot of profits through simple SEO. And as you can see, their Pinterest looks basically like an extension of their store, which I think is super cool. And it's extremely clever considering that the people that go on Pinterest are actually going on Pinterest to look for inspiration when it comes to home decor, fashion, all of these things. Those are all great niches to go into when it comes to Pinterest. I've tested Pinterest ads a little bit. I haven't dove too deep into them, but after looking at this, I'm definitely way more inspired to look into Pinterest ads, especially with the weird fluctuations that we've been experiencing with Facebook. Not just me personally, but in the industry as a whole. Even brands are experiencing inconsistencies. So if you have a dropshipping store and you've been experiencing a lot of inconsistencies with Facebook ads, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people are dealing with the same things. Like I said, even brands and even agencies are dealing with this stuff. So don't worry about it too much. At the end of the day, this is why it's important to sort of brainstorm different marketing ideas, different ways to reach customers. And Pinterest might actually be a really great alternative for you, especially if you're building a store similar to Warmly's. Now, what I find interesting is that they actually don't link any social media on their actual website. I think the main reason why is so that people don't leave the website. When somebody leaves your site, it's gonna be extremely hard to get them back. So obviously run retargeting, obviously have emails in place to make sure that you're recovering your lost visitors at all costs. But this is a great way to do it, is by just not having any sort of distractions anywhere to be found on your store. That's actually probably the best way to get people to just stay on your store. Now, as you can see, some of their products are literally like $600, and they use Quad Pay here, which allows people to pay in installments. That's really clever, especially considering that they are basically a high ticket store. So that's something that you should definitely get set up for Q4 if you are selling higher ticket products. QuadPay is actually a pretty good alternative for Afterpay or Klarna. Those are your traditional payment installment apps that are out there. I know there's way more, but those are the most commonly known ones. QuadPay is also good though. I use QuadPay on my store right now and it works really well. Now, another thing I find interesting about Warmly is that they actually don't even have any reviews on their store. Now, that's a little sketchy, and chances are it's probably because they don't get a lot of good reviews. So obviously that's not something I admire a lot about this store. I don't know exactly how their customers feel about the brand. I'm hoping that they love it, but judging by how much traffic they generate and how long they've been doing this for, I'm guessing that they do have a sort of fan base somewhere. And even if a lot of their customers are not satisfied, they do have a nice refund policy, which is actually really fair. I do think that if you are gonna be drop shipping and you have, terrible shipping times, then you should at least have a pretty reasonable refund policy for your customers. That's a good way to provide value in some way. I mean, there's a lot of brands out there that don't do refunds at all, so that would definitely make you at least a little better than those brands. The easiest way to know if a brand is actually drop shipping or not is by just looking at their shipping times. And as you can see, they have 3 to 5 week shipping times. That's a really long time, but since they are selling furniture, it actually kind of makes sense, right? And this is sort of the same way that Wayfair has grown. If you don't know about Wayfair, they're basically the same thing as Warmly, like I just showed you, but they are doing things a little bit higher scale. I mean, they're doing 143 million monthly visitors, so they're probably doing like $1 billion a month in sales, and they actually drop ship. They actually were one of the innovators in the drop shipping space. They set up deals with manufacturers so that they could directly send out the furniture that people bought, and I think that's extremely clever. I mean, that's why I'm saying that the drop shipping model itself is actually genius. It makes so much sense logistically, so please stop thinking that drop shipping is gonna end or something. It's not gonna end. It's just a business model. Like, it can't end. It's just your supplier shipping orders to your customers. Of course, it's not ideal. You don't have the most control over your brand, but especially if you're just starting, I think it's an amazing way to build up a business without having to take too much risk in inventory. The way I found this store, by the way, is through a tool called Salesforce. I've been using Salesforce for basically all of these sort of case study videos because they have a feature on their software called Top Stores. And what you can do with this is it basically links you to the top Shopify stores, but then it has a tab here to turn on dropshipping stores. So if you are dropshipping and you want to look for store inspiration, this is a perfect tool for you. I mean, you can literally filter by dropshipping stores, which I think is really awesome. And obviously, if you're building your brand, then you can just look at brands as well, such as Gymshark. Gymshark is the #1 here, and ColourPop. Those are the most commonly known Shopify brands out there. But this is a great tool. I've been using it for a long time, and they just recently added like a marketing video search tab here. Of course, you could just use the Facebook ad library for this. You really don't need to pay for a tool in order to do this, but it's pretty convenient. I think it's pretty cool. They're trying to improve their software. So if you are interested in checking out this tool, make sure that you use my link in the description. It is an affiliate link, but if you're gonna check it out, you might as well support the channel. It's always appreciated. So let me know what you think about this store. I think it's one of the most impressive dropshipping stores I've seen out there. Like I said, it does remind me a lot of Wayfair, and if we just like compare them side by side, they're really similar, except that Wayfair has like some, you know, purple tones in there instead of just black and white. But I almost like Warmly more. Like, it looks cleaner to me. But Wayfair does seem more legit. I mean, obviously they're literally $1 billion brand, so there's a little bit of a difference there. But either way, I'm really impressed with their store. I think it's amazing, and I really hope to build my brand up to this level of traffic within the next year or two. But with that said, make sure you share your thoughts in the comments. I read everything, and I love answering you guys' questions and comments in general. I hope that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. I'm making videos every week, and I love doing it, so I'd love to have you be a part of the family. But that basically wraps up this video, and I'll be seeing you in my next one. Peace.